vinyl community, it's Michael. Welcome back to Near Wild Heaven. Today's video is 15 albums from 1978, and what's playing in the background is Devo, the first album, and the song playing is Uncontrollable Urge. Great stuff from Devo. So today's video, of course, I already said that. 15 albums from 1978. I know there was a lot of punk coming out in 78, and I tried to keep it balanced between like mainstream stuff and punk. So let's just jump right into it. And first up, this is the Rolling Stones, Some Girls. This album and Goat's Head Soup, I think, are the best albums that the Rolling Stones made in the 70s. Just so good. But this has great songs on it, like Miss You, Some Girls, When the Whip Comes Down, their take on country and western with Faraway Eyes, Respectable, Before They Make Me Run. Everybody knows this album. It's a fantastic album, just classic Rolling Stones. Great stuff. And up next, this is Black Sabbath, Never Say Die. It's the last album with Ozzy. This album, not quite as good as their first few albums, but it's still pretty rockin'. There's some pretty good stuff on here. Never Say Die, the title song, is really good. Junior's Eyes, Johnny Blade, Swing the Chain. It's all pretty good stuff from Black Sabbath. I'm not sure how popular this is in the VC, but I think everybody knows this one. But pretty good stuff from Black Sabbath. And up next, this is Budgie, Impeccable. This is a band from Wales, Cardiff, Wales to be exact. And they later relocated to San Antonio, Texas, which I thought was kind of odd, but if it helped them get popular, who knows. But yeah, great stuff on here, like Melt the Ice Away, All at Sea, Smile Boy Smile, Don't Go Away, and Don't Dilute the Water. But pretty good hard rock from the 70s from Budgie. Great band. I'd say they're pretty popular in the VC, but outside of the VC, I think they're kind of underrated. But yeah, great stuff from Budgie. Impeccable. And up next, this is AC/DC, Powerage. I think this is like their fourth album, maybe third, I'm not sure. But yeah, I prefer this lineup with Bon Scott over the Brian Johnson years. But yeah, this is a great album. The thing about AC/DC is when you buy an album by them, you know what you're going to get, you know, because they pretty much all sound alike. But they're still good. They're a lot of fun to listen to. But songs on here like Rock and Roll Damnation, Give Me a Bullet, Riff Raff, Sin City, Gone Shootin', Up to My Neck in You, Kicked in the Teeth, really good hard rock from AC/DC, Powerage. And up next, this is Elvis Costello, this year's model, the second album from Elvis and the Attractions. I really like this album. It's a really good album. I like the first album too, but this one has a good kick to it. It's a little more rockin' than the first one. But songs on here like No Action is really good. This Year's Girl, the beat, Pump It Up is a great song. Little Triggers, You Belong to Me, Hand in Hand, Lip Service, All pretty good stuff from Elvis Costello and the Attractions. Great album. And up next, this is the Dead Boys. We Have Come for Your Children, their second album. It's pretty good. Not quite as hard-hitting as their first one, but it's got some pretty decent songs on it. Third Generation Nation, pretty good. What is it? Flamethrower Love is good. Tell Me, it's a cover of the Rolling Stones song. Calling on You, Dead and Alive, and they do a version of Ain't It Fun, which was originally written by Peter Laffner and was done by Rocket from the Tombs. But yeah, great song, great album by the Dead Boys. We Have Come for Your Children. Up next, Perubu, The Modern Dance. It's their first album. There's really good stuff on here. I really love this band. I saw them several times. Just great stuff. Songs like Non-Alignment Pact, that's a great opener for this. They also do the title song, Modern Dance, Laughing, Street Wave, Life Stinks, Real World, Over My Head, Sentimental Journey. Really good post-punk from Cleveland, Ohio. Perubu and the Modern Dance. And up next, this is the Bizarros, self-titled first album. I believe this is the only album they ever made. Well, the only mainstream album that they made, or that was on a mainstream label. It was on, what is this on? Mercury. Yeah, it's on Mercury. But, yeah, pretty good stuff. Some of the songs sound similar to the Velvet Underground, especially the song Lady Dubonnet. It's like the guy here, this guy's the lead singer. His name is Nick Nicholas. His voice sounds very similar to Lou Reed. But this is kind of like a mix of punk and new wave. And it's pretty good. Songs like Young Girls at Market, Seeing is Believing, After the Snow, Laser Boys, Lady Dubonnet, Mind's a Magnet, all pretty good stuff. If you don't know about the Bizarros, check them out. Pretty good band from Akron, Ohio. Up next, this is the Adverts, Crossing the Red Sea with the Adverts. This is really good. This is a classic punk album. They do songs like One Chord Wonders, it's great. Bored Teenagers, Bonsai Boy, Safety in Numbers, and Gary Gilmore's Eyes, which this is a reissue, I think, from 1981. But the original album came out in '78, and I don't think it included the song Gary Gilmore's Eyes, but they added it to this version of the album. But yeah, it's really good punk from 1978, the Adverts, Crossing the Red Sea with the Adverts. And up next, this is DMZ. Their one and only album. This band later became The Liars out of Boston. This is mostly like, it's like a basic rock and roll. Maybe a little bit punk, but it's more leaning towards a basic rock and roll sound. But yeah, pretty good. Songs like Mighty Heidi, Bad Attitude, Watch for Me Girl, Destroyer, Baby Boom, Out of Our Tree, Do Not Enter, all pretty good stuff from DMZ. And up next is Radio Birdman, Radios Appear. This was their first album, or their first U.S. album, I should say. And I'm pretty sure this has a different selection of songs than the Australian version. But yeah, there's great stuff on here. What Gives, Do the Pop, Descent into the Maelstrom, New Race, Aloha Steve and Dano, which is really good. They use part of the theme song from the old TV show Hawaii Five-0. And Anglo Girl Desire, Murder City Nights is really good. They also do a cover of You're Gonna Miss Me by the 13th Floor Elevators. But yeah, really good stuff from Radio Birdman. Punky, hard rock, just great stuff. Great guitar work from Dennis Tech. And up next, this is Susie and the Banshees, The Scream, their first album. Pretty like post-punk, I'd say. But yeah, great stuff on here. Songs like Jigsaw Feeling, Overground, Carcass. They do a version of the Beatles' Helter Skelter, which is really good. Metal Postcard is another really good one. Nicotine Stain, all of it's a really good album from Susie and the Banshees. Their first album, The Scream. And up next, this is Television Adventure. This is the second album. This didn't get good reviews like Marquee Moon did, but the thing was, for Marquee Moon, they had like almost 3 years to work on the songs that were on there and, you know, perfect them. And this album, they only had like 6 months to write the songs and record them. And so it was kind of rushed, but it's not quite as good as Marquee Moon, but it's still a pretty decent album. And the songs on here like Glory Days, Carried Away is a really good song on here. Also The Fire, Ain't That Nothing, and The Dream's Dream. But fairly decent album from Television. Their second album, Adventure. And so a couple more here. The Patti Smith group, Easter. This contains her top 10 hit, Because the Night, which was co-written by Bruce Springsteen, and he also does a version of it. But yeah, this is a really good album. Songs like Till Victory, Space Monkey, Because the Night, Babalog, Ghost Dance, Privilege, The 25th Floor. That's a really good album, or a really good song. But yeah, great stuff from Patti Smith group, Easter. And last one here, this is the Ramones, Road to Ruin. This is their fourth album. Yeah, their fourth album. There's maybe trying out different things on this album, like the song Questioningly. It's got kind of a country and western feel to it. But yeah, it's a pretty good album. I like the song I Want to Be Sedated. It's great. And they also do a cover of Needles and Pins, which I believe was the Searchers from the 60s that did that song. But yeah, great stuff from the Ramones. Road to Ruin. Everybody knows the Ramones. Great band and great album from the Ramones. So there you go, 15 albums from 1978. I hope you enjoyed that. I'd like to thank everyone who subscribed in the last week. Thanks to everyone who leaves comments. And next week, be sure to tune in. I'm going to have vinyl finds and some VCLT from Ron at Hog's Ear Report. So that'll be interesting. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking around. Hope you all have a happy, safe weekend, and we'll talk to you later.